but to show us go on.
Okay. It's like, man, what I'm looking at with Joe Burrow is the progression from one year to the next, because we all know he went to Ohio State first. He did
Okay.
3 years at Ohio State, redshirted the first one. He played 2 years and never could get in the lineup
That's
over
right.
Barrett or Haskins. Then he transferred to LSU. His first year at LSU, he only threw for 2,800 yards, 16 touchdowns, and had a 133 QB rating, which that sounds like outlandishly high, but you got to understand that in college, the QB rating goes up to like 270 something. I think it might be 273. Something like that. I think that's a perfect QB rating in college. It's way higher than what it is in the NFL at 158. So
Well,
in year two, he threw for 5,600 yards, 60 touchdowns, went 15-0, 202 rating. Probably had the best quarterback season we've ever seen in college football. Won the Heisman. So he seems like a no-brainer pick at the number one pick. But you look at the difference between year one and year two. I mean, Hilaire Edwards, or whatever direction his name is in. Which way is it? No, it's Edwards Hilaire. That's what it is. The running back. He was there in 2018. Jefferson was there in 2018. All the major pieces on the offense that balled out last season, they all played for LSU in 2018 when they went 10-3, did nothing, and Joe Burrow's numbers were very pedestrian. The only thing that happened from 18 to 19 is Joe Brady. Joe Brady came from the Saints, brought the offense into Louisiana, and all of a sudden, they look like the Saints. Like LSU balled out. I can't take anything away from Joe Burrows for actually being able to command the offense with all the pieces that were out there, but I would urge you to be extremely cautious about thinking that Joe Burrow is about to go to Cincinnati and turn the entire team around when the progression and the way LSU actually came up was not him. It's like, yes, if you give him all the best players, he can manage it. So could Matt Leinart. So could Ken Dorsey. You forgot about those guys, huh? They played on teams that were loaded, and they actually weren't that good. Matt Leinart even won a Heisman with a loaded team.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to go to Cincinnati and get a rude awakening. I mean, what really Joe Burrow needs to pull an Eli Manning. He needs to tell Cincinnati that he will not play for them and force a trade. They don't have the weapons for him to be successful.
Gonna pull an Eli Manning.
He got to pull an Eli.
Hey, what's up, Maceo? See you out there. What's happening, Chris? Thank you guys for joining the show. We had some technical difficulties we were dealing with,
Eli
but
said he would not play for the Chargers. He ended up going to the Giants, won 2 Super Bowls. Now he's on the cusp of being a first ballot Hall of Famer because of where he went.
Well, I tell you, for me, like Joe Burrows is NFL ready. He's ready. I think what will determine his future, if he gets, like you mentioned with Joe Brady, gets with a good coach that knows how to groom these young quarterbacks and get them in the rhythm of the NFL type of play. That's what his future is probably resting on more than anything. Going to the right program, the right coaching system that will be able to bring him along without the pressure, and he can just fit in and be the superstar that I believe he can probably be in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
But Cincinnati isn't it.
Well, I agree. I totally agree. But that's why I say I think he's still NFL ready. But depending on the system he goes to,
Cincinnati don't even need a quarterback.
Huh?
Andy Dalton isn't garbage. He's like a middle of the road guy. Joe Burrow was going to come in there and do the exact same nothing that Andy Dalton was doing.
Well, I mean, the organization is trash. I mean, that's the point I was making. And I agree with you. Maybe he should, let his nuts drag the ground a little bit and say, hey, I'll wait till you draft me, and then I'll hold out for a trade. That maybe, I don't see what's wrong with that. I think they'll have a lot of takers, and they'll probably get a lot of pieces that they need behind that, if they do it that way. So Joe Burrows is a gold mine for Cincinnati if they don't screw it up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this guy, I think he's ready, Fees. I really do. I love what he did at LSU this year. He had a lot of pieces in place, like you said, a year before. He didn't look like half the quarterback he was this season, but you just don't have the greatest damn season as a quarterback in college history because you're a fluke. That just don't happen. This guy, he waited his turn.
Did you happen to see a gentleman by the name of Tim Tebow play?
Yeah, but you just kind of
knew. Of the greatest seasons you ever saw. He ain't no NFL quarterback.
But everybody kind of knew Tebow wasn't probably NFL material, even in college.
Make him a damn tight end when he came in, so they knew that.
Yeah, we knew that in college, that he probably wouldn't transfer. His skill level wouldn't transfer over to the NFL.
Oh, okay. Tebow wasn't enough for you? Did you watch Johnny Football?
I wasn't sold on him. I just felt like he was a high
They all played in the SEC. The
I don't think that was his.
If you play there, then you're going to be an NFL superstar.
I wouldn't think that was his talent.
Say their life.
I don't think Johnny Football he was lacking talent or being able to be. I think his mindset he wasn't mature.
Yeah,
I think he had game. He needed 2 more years of college. The way he was doing in the NFL, he had the talent. The dude could play the football. He knew how to play football, but he was a better quarterback than Tebow was to me. But he just didn't have the maturity.
I don't think Tebow or Manziel
had a better head on his shoulders. He'd beat Baker Mayfield.
I don't think Baker Mayfield. I mean, Johnny Manziel or Tim Tebow can tote this guy's jockstrap, man. I think he's the real deal. And it remains to be seen, but I'm buying into the hype. I'm buying.
I'm not.
So which team needs Burrow the most? Since you all are saying the Bengals,
what up,
that's already out.
I don't even know if it's a matter of which team needs Burrow the most. It's just which spot would actually be the best landing place for Burrow. Just according to like what the supporting cast is, what they have around, what the coaching is like. I mean, really. Carolina needs to trade up to get him. They won't do it because they got Teddy, and Teddy played with the Saints, so Teddy knows the system, and they don't need Burrow. But that would be the most ideal situation for Burrow is to go back under Brady, or if he was able to slip, which there's no way that he'd ever possibly slide, if he was able to go to the Saints and sit behind Drew Brees for his last 2 years of his contract and then take over the way Aaron Rodgers did, then he can walk right into the same system that he was successful in at LSU, 2 years to groom.
That's right.
And he could actually come in and really thrive.
I totally agree.
There's no scenario that says he's going to have the opportunity to do that.
Whatever system he goes to, or team, I should say, organization, they're going to have to be patient. This guy's not just going to walk in and just I don't think he'll be a playoff caliber quarterback right off the bat, with the teams that really need a QB. So wherever he goes, it's going to have to be a certain level of patience that goes into this as well to keep the pressure off of him so he can develop the way he should. You know what I'm saying? Without damaging his you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So man, this will be interesting to see where y'all go with this. It's 2 questions in one. First part, how many quarterbacks you think will get drafted in the first round? Second part, rank the top 5 quarterbacks, because everybody has been talking about Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and Jordan Love. How do you rank those 5 guys?
I tell you, Fees, this is going to be tricky, man. I do believe there will be 4 quarterbacks to go in the top, probably, I would say the top 15 picks, I would imagine quarterbacks will be taken. 4 quarterbacks. Now,
4 in the top 15. Do you think all 5 are going in the first round?
Yes. I think all 5 will go in the first round. I think Herbert, he's that's the sleeper. He didn't do well against LSU. Or, am I talking about Herbert or Love? Which one am I speaking of? Herbert.
No, you're talking about Love.
Herbert is the
Love.
Jordan
Love. Herbert played for Oregon. Love actually played LSU in week 6.
Right. And he didn't. Now, that's not the game tape you necessarily want to look at, you know what I'm saying, because of the team that he had with him, to face LSU. LSU ran over everybody. But that guy, Love, I think that's the sleeper that's going to surprise a lot of people. I believe it'll be Burrows. Tua could possibly go number 2. could possibly go number 2. Then I see Love. Hurts will be last.
Oh, I pick him as third. Well, behind the other ones.
Say what, Allegra?
Oh no,
Okay.
I was saying
Burrows,
I picked,
Tua, Love, Herbert,
Hurts.
Hurts. Yeah, Hurts will probably be last. And I've heard rumors, and you just never know with the Falcons. I hate to get off, and I guess that's the excitement of the NFL draft. They're saying the Falcons may, depending on how this board shake out,
it hurts.
1 through 15, they may try to snag goddamn Hurts.
I read that yesterday.
They may
I told
try to
you.
snag Hurts.
I
Okay.
heard a little bit. I heard a little bit different. I heard if they jump up high as they can, they're gonna go after cornerback. They're gonna go after cornerback. They need a cornerback more than they need a safety.
They do. They do.
They probably gonna go after a cornerback. The quarterback will probably be a bad move in the first round. I think they need to really do some defensive moves. That's just my how
I agree. I like the defensive tackle.
I wouldn't jump all the way up there just get no quarterback. You saying you ain't trying to replace
Right.
number 2.
Right.
So
I
why
agree.
would you?
I agree. I
why would
think
you jump that high
That's
to
a
get
reach.
something?
you will really upset our fan base because we need a tackle or that corner, Jeff Okuda, or Derek Brown at tackle.
He's
if we
going
can get him.
early. You're not getting Okuda.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying,
So you're not getting the fees.
now if you have
No, Detroit's looking at him at 3.
well, okay, now if you're talking about 4 quarterbacks possibly going in the top 15, that board is going to shake up a good bit. That board's going to, like Isaiah Simmons, like I said, Derek Brown, Ken Law. This is going to be very interesting. Espinosa, Chase Young.
As far as how these
Chasson.
quarterbacks shake out, though,
Yeah.
like this
That's going
is
to
how I
determine.
see him.
Go ahead, fees.
Like Tua is the best quarterback in the draft. He's not going to go first because of what Burrow did, but Tua is absolutely better than Joe Burrow. He has
Okay.
injury concerns, and I think that wherever he goes, he needs to go somewhere where he actually doesn't have to play right away, which makes the Chargers the best look for him because they can actually come out with Tyrod Taylor and then bring Tua in after Tyrod sputters out. But he can buy them 5-6 weeks before Tua's got to play. Anywhere else, is like he's going to have to come straight in and play, and I don't think that's a good look.
Right.
But just
this
pound for pound, I think Tua's better than Burrow. But I'll give you Tua, then Burrow, then Hurts, then Herbert, then Love. This Love story is beyond me. Everybody talking about who he's supposed to be the next Pat Mahomes, possibly, but he's just kind of rough. I had to do a little bit of research on Jordan Love. I don't understand why he's even considered a first-round prospect. He's going to get picked early because of all the hype that he's got, but that dude's not that good. You're talking about, like they played against LSU, and it was such good competition. He had 130 yards passing, 0 touchdowns, and 3 picks against LSU, and -8 yards rushing. It was like, okay, it was LSU, so that's expected. Like, now, you say he's supposed to be the next Pat Mahomes. He played against BYU. They lost 56-21. BYU ain't that good. They was ranked 19th when they played them, so I mean, they were a formidable opponent. But he only had 229 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick against them. And he still had 6 carries for -10 yards. Then they got waxed by Air Force. 31-7 against Air Force. He threw for 114 yards and 1 touchdown and -16 yards rushing. And you telling me this guy is supposed to be the next Pat Mahomes? Like, man, get out of here.
It's a reach.
Hey, you know
It's a reach.
Jordan Love lost.
That's that
You
propaganda
picked him in
trying
the
to
first
get that-
round, you lost the pick.
They trying to get some team to bite on that damn sandwich, man. I heard I ain't heard that on Undisputed. Them talking about, man, how they hyping that dude up, then comparing him to Mahomes. Like,
I mean, I would be. I might rip the banners off my wall if New England took Jordan Love.
Oh man.
Just come right
You
up
can't
here
do
and just
that.
tear them all
You
off. Are
can't
you
do
serious?
that.
We might as well just go with Stidham if we're gonna
That's
do
your
that.
beloved team. That's your beloved team. You can't do that. You got to remain loyal.
I didn't say I was leaving the team. I said I ripped the banners off the wall because I'd be that pissed off about us picking Jordan Love. He is not that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same thing if we pick Jake Fromm.
I mean, to me, Love will go last. I mean, that's just my opinion. But this class, it's already heavy for the top QBs, right? I think they were saying that this draft class is, special for the QBs that's getting drafted. Yeah, so I pick him last, but of course I pick Burrow first. But then I don't know because it's either Tua or Burrow. I don't know.
But the disrespect for Jalen Hurts is just on such high alert.
I agree.
Out of these 5 quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts threw for the second most yards. He had 3,800 yards passing with 32 touchdowns, and he had a 191 rating. His rating was third behind Tua and Burrows. But outside of that, Jalen Hurts had 1,298 yards rushing and another 20 touchdowns rushing. So, I mean, if you add his rushing and passing together, the man went for over 5,000 yards with 52 touchdowns. I mean, he's killing. He was 18th in the country in rushing. He's 8th in passing and 18th in rushing. Like, how is it that you possibly discrediting this man who won he went 28-2 at Alabama and then went to Oklahoma and went 12-2. He won a national championship. He has 2 under his belt because they took him out and 2 and won the second one, but he technically has 2. He balled out in 2 different systems. He went and saw the wizard when he got put on the bench in Alabama and turned into an actual passer. His accuracy just went through the roof while he sat on the bench trying to get his position back. You saw it when they subbed him out against Georgia in the SEC championship game the year that Bama lost to Clemson. And they took Tua out, and then Jalen Hurts came in and he balled out. You were like, wait, like his passes are like 1,000 times more accurate. He's not the same quarterback. Then he transferred and started destroying it at Oklahoma.
Well, you
like for the notion of people to act like Jalen Hurts is the 5th best quarterback in this draft is absurd on 1,000 levels. There's no way he's less than the 3rd best quarterback out there.
Banks, can you hear us?
Big Banks, you in?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Got DBZ in the house in the dark.
What's good, bro?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix that right now, Thieves. And I've been rocking and rolling.
The light.
I got.
He's trying to hide that Wolfman beard. You know, we got.
Hey man,
barbershop open up on Friday.
I won't be there. I won't be there. I won't be there. Y'all can have Kemp and his
They got
COVID
people, they got people do your hair, your nails at the damn funeral home too.
There it is.
Oh,
Hey, we got some people in the chat room chiming in. What's up, Dwight LaPalme Sr.? Chris Tobin said New England is going to draft Jake Fromm, and he would be a perfect fit for that system.
Okay.
Jake Fromm is not a perfect fit for anybody. He's a backup.
Okay. All right.
He's a 6th round pick.
All right.
Yeah, I ain't sold on Fromm. I ain't been sold on in 4 years. So 5-3, how many you played?
He had the 3rd best defense in the country and the 50th best offense in the country, and that's why Georgia sputtered out because their offense was garbage and it was completely carried by Swift because their quarterback play was terrible. Why would somebody pick Jake Fromm?
Terrible. I had to agree.
Well, I truly believe that he's going to go to New England. Belichick has a love affair for Georgia players for some reason. They do. He hosts where he in attendance to Georgia's pro day every year. I don't see it as outside the realm of possibility for the Sith Lord to do it. So I mean, it would be surprising, yes, but then he does not necessarily go with what everybody thinks he should do anyway, right? So,
well, that brings us to the next question. There are many rumors right now that the Patriots are considering trading up to draft Tua.
I've heard that.
Do you think they should do that?
I've heard that.
So where are they currently drafted? I don't know that they're
23rd
round picks, 23rd in the first. What do they have going into everything else?
No 2nd round picks.
Okay.
No, they got that 1 4th round.
Muhammad Sanu was the 2nd round pick. They gave it to the Falcons.
Right. Okay. So I don't necessarily see them going that high to get a quarterback, or making that adjustment. Although they did just get a 4th round from your folks, so anything is possible, right?
Right.
And if he got his eyes set on Jake from State Farm, then he may not need to do that.
Chris
because
said,
happy belated Maria.
Chris Tobin said Brady was a 6th round pick. If you want to go at it like that, You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so
it's not
so
outside the realm of possibility.
Not that far far from that. If you're saying it that way.
Didn't play for a school where his coach left the school and then he got pushed back in the hierarchy of what they were doing and then split time and still looked like a next level good quarterback and just kind of got shafted and pushed back in the draft. Fromm was frontline on a team that should have been a national title contender and he flamed out. Not the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Fromm either. Don't get me wrong, right? I've always said this since we allowed Justin Fields to get out of here and he replaced Jacob Eason. I don't think that Fromm has it in him. I've never had it,
He doesn't.
But of course, Kirby not so smart, put all the chips on that kid and it just never panned out. And now you see it. Then you had a lot of people talking about, the NFL guys are real high on him and this, that, and the third. And don't be surprised. My very own my boy Maceo Hurd talked about how the NFL guys are real high on Fromm. But now you don't see it as they get through with all the combines and all that. He's nowhere to be found.
What up, Cedar Michelle?
Let's be for real about this shit, man. That kid is what he is. He's a product of his homeboy nepotism, and if he gets picked late rounds, he'd definitely be a backup. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Now I tell you, that chip is a motherfucker though.
And
you get to New England, they put that chip in there. You might get some more of what you didn't expect from him.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Etling played for us for a hot second. Did you see what the Chips was forced to buy in? So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if he's actually able to rebuild this thing without Tom.
Well, Chris Tobin getting at you, man. He says they run twin tight ends, pass to Edelman in the slot. He can't throw the deep ball great, and you don't have to in New England. Sonny Michel is his teammate in Georgia, or was his teammate in Georgia. And there in New England, always has a top 10 defense. He will be passing to running backs a lot in New England as well.
I don't look. I'm not buying that at all.
That didn't work last year. We don't have any tight ends. Lacoste is garbage, and the other dude, I can't even remember his name.
And Gronk is gone.
We ain't got no tight ends in New England.
Well,
as
Chris,
far as Sony Michel, he had the softest encore season ever. I was so disgusted with Sony last year. Like, man, don't even talk to me about that guy. He had a great rookie campaign when we won the Super Bowl against the Rams. Last season, where was Sony at? Sony didn't do nothing. The offense is lacking a lot. The offense needs a rushing quarterback. Like, you need a mobile quarterback. The offense needs to be infused with something like a Cam Newton or a Jalen Hurts where they can start actually do an RPO, give those receivers more time to get open because there's actually a threat that the quarterback will run, and we do have the running back stable to facilitate that. But bringing in Jake Fromm, you might as well just keep Stidham. At least Stidham can move a little bit. This guy just talking. He must be a Georgia fan. Who is that guy that's making all these comments? He's from Athens, isn't he?
He's a Cowboy fan, too.
He's from East Point, but he's a Cowboy fan.
He must be in Athens.
Nah, he right over here on the outside of town, right here, right around the corner.
He need to move to Clark County with that nonsense.
Yeah, well, you see, Chris, you get no love or no respect on what you're saying, man. They ain't buying it. They selling. Jake Fromm will not be – he won't do well in the NFL.
I'm going to give him some love on the last draft topic. So what team do you think will ultimately win the draft?
That's tough, man. That's actually tough. Because, like I said, I think in the top 15, you're going to have 4 QBs to come off the board, and that's going to really shake things up and give a lot of teams opportunities to get players that they maybe not felt like they should, would have a chance at getting. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it's hard to say right now, man. It's hard to say.
Well, I'm going to give you my hot take on it. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win the draft.
Reason being?
Why do I say that? Because I think that's where Jalen Hurts is going to go. Because Dak is tripping. not signing that franchise tender was more than likely means he's going to hold out to try to get a contract. And I honestly do believe that Jalen Hurts is better than Dak anyway. There's not a knock on Dak. I think Jalen is that good.
Okay.
If they pick Jalen, they get 4 to 5 more years on a rookie contract with a guy who can produce the same, if not more, than what Dak is doing. And then they can focus on other parts because they won't need anything else on offense.
So what you're saying, you think a rookie can come in and play at the level that Dak has played? Now, one of the things that Dak has done is he's traditionally over the last 3-4 years has charted, even though he hadn't correlated to wins, a lot of wins, right? But he's charted top 4, 5, top 10 quarterback in the league, and doing it that way. You think that Jalen Hurts, no knock on Jalen, you think he can come in and give you that same kind of production behind Zeke and with the re-signed wide receiver and really not
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Coop, and then not a real tight end in that. And they a pretty decent defense. So you think if they get Jalen Hurts, he can come right in and not really miss a beat with that team?
Oh, absolutely. I think Jalen can definitely walk into all of the pieces that Dallas has in place, especially with Mike McCarthy there. He can come in, grab that offense. I mean, they only went 8-8 last year. It's not like he has to come in and go like, oh, they went 12-4. You really got some big shoes to fill. Dak put up big numbers, but they didn't equal wins. If Jalen comes in and wins 9-10 games, they did better.
Okay. I can see that.
I do that.
I think he's making a mistake by not signing the franchise tag. I do agree with you on that. I just don't know that, Jerry Jones is a cowboy, he's going to come out blazing. He would, in fact, shock the world if he did that. And then he'll set a precedent at that point that, shut up and play football. Because basically, Dak
I would love to get Dak in New England, but I just don't think Dallas should really stick with him with the way he's acting right now about this contract.
Yeah, that might be a possibility. If in fact they do go out and get Jalen Hurts and say, hey, y'all give us that 4th round pick, we're gonna give y'all Dak. That would be a hell of a shakeup. And unfortunately, when I should say unfortunately, but it'll be what the league looks for, right? That kind of transparency, that kind of, like shit, nobody say let's go play ball.
Well, we can't afford him though. We only have $1 million in cap space.
Yeah, well,
we couldn't even give him the franchise tender.
I'm going to ask you though, if they trade him now with the franchise tender on the table, don't they still carry some of his salary?
Yeah, but they're not going to carry.
I mean, I don't know how much
of it.
Okay, that's okay. So I'm not sure what it was, but
we couldn't. If Gronk said he wanted to play for us, we couldn't have signed him because his contract was for $10 million. We don't have the money to pay for nobody right now. We'll have over $100 million in cap space next year.
Okay.
Hey, we're gonna say I hate to interrupt us, guys, but Allegra, she had to check out. She has other obligations, and we appreciate her tuning in or coming in to join us tonight during the show. We'll see you next week, perhaps, Miss Lady. Thank you very much, and shout out to Tripolar, Trey Leonard, AG, Antonio Green. What's up, Doc? I see you out there, man. Q Walker, Jeff Suit. Appreciate y'all joining the show, man. You're watching the Wednesday night edition of Petty Sports, brought to you by Kings Broadcasting Studios. We got the usual cast of characters at the table, up to our shenanigans again, going at it with these guys in the chat room about some of these players that's up in the draft. You got Banks. He joined us finally here. Glad to have him. We got Famous Fees, of course, and myself, Mike Bell, baby, and Petty Man. So, yeah, without further ado, back to your regularly scheduled program, ATL, ho.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, it's going to be real interesting to see how this whole thing shakes up. I mean, Dak is going to actually play a big part in how this draft works. I mean, if Dallas comes out and makes a statement by drafting Jalen, it's going to say a lot. So, I mean, that'll change up what some other teams do. Like, okay, if they drafted Jalen, that means Dak should be on the board. Like, he's available.
And not to mention now, you still have Jameis and Cam waiting in the wings.
Well, that is absolutely our very next topic of discussion. Where do you think that Cam Newton and Jameis Winston will land?
Another one that's hard to say because we won't know that until after the draft and how these teams do what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's tough to say. Tough to say. Dak, I think, is going to play a role in that and what Dallas does with him. and what New England does for a quarterback. Those are the two teams to really watch, in my opinion.
But New England ain't got no money. They're not a player in this.
Well, I mean, you got to figure these guys probably not going to go for top dollar, maybe perhaps.
They don't have any money.
No.
Listen, James may not be able to drag a poor. Cam not going in there on no bullshit.
I don't know.
Cam's not going in there on no bullshit. And I think Cam is fine. I think Cam, even if Cam said, hey, man, he sat out a year and let this shit wash out, I think Cam is in a situation to do that as well. That way he can be fully healthy and he's not really pressed for it. James, on the other end, can't afford to do that after coming off a 30-pick season. He needs to get signed by somebody and pray for an injury. That's just what it is before he, even looks at trying to be another starter in this league. Even though they're both well capable of doing so, it's just I think they're in two separate boats. And, of course, the draft is going to determine a lot of that.
Well, now I say this
it's interesting that you actually say that about him praying for an injury, because that's exactly where I think that Jameis needs to go. Jameis, with his 5,100 yards, 33 touchdowns, he had a great year statistically outside of his interceptions. I think that the perfect landing place for Jameis Winston is Pittsburgh. He needs to go there, back up Big Ben. Ben ain't going to last more than about a month. He gets hurt every year. When Big Ben gets hurt, Jameis can take over. They got a decent supporting cast. Mason Rudolph is trash. And after he got bashed in the head by the helmet, he's even worse than what he was before.
I actually like
and his boy coming
Conner,
back.
Juju Smith, James Washington. They got a little something to work with for Jameis to throw to.
Yeah, and
I think Pittsburgh is the perfect situation for him.
I like that. I like it. I like that.
Well, here's the thing, though. Tomlin in there as a father figure for Jameis may calm him down, may give him that structure that he needs and so forth, much like what he did with Ben. Ben with the motorcycle shit and all that early in his career, some knucklehead move. You may be on to something with that. That may be a good play for him.
Now I want to get back to this Cam piece. I can't, because Doc agrees with me with Cam maybe going. Well, I didn't say this, but we talked about it some weeks back. Doc Reynolds say Cam to the Pats, and I know at one point some weeks back, Fees, you were saying that may not be a bad move for them. Now, Cam may not be looking for top dollar. He may just want to go somewhere to win to raise his stock. So in the 21-22 season, he can really shop himself. What you think about it?
Well, releasing him while he still has a year under contract says that Carolina's got to pay most of it. I think that, Cam could definitely work in New England because, Cam has a chip on his shoulder. He's pissed. He doesn't like the way that they actually treated him in releasing him. So, I feel like Cam is going to come in as a different quarterback. Like, he'll probably be more focused, more accurate. He's going to really have a really good campaign this season to earn himself another contract. Just like I said earlier, a quarterback like Cam is just what New England needs the way the offense is currently constructed, because the receivers need more time to get open. If they can do an RPO, so I was like, man, we could use Cam, we could use a Jalen. Anybody who can run and then get passes out, I think would be a great fit. I would be surprised if we got him. If we did, I would absolutely be Team Cam all day. I would like to see it happen. I don't think it will, but I would love for him to come to New England. But where I do see Cam going, I think the Denver Broncos will be in the Cam Newton sweepstakes. They just picked up Melvin Gordon. They still got Phillip Lindsay. They got Royce Freeman. They got 3 really good running backs.
Yep.
Cortland Sutton was the only wide receiver they had that did anything. He went over 1,100 yards last year. They were 7-9. They were second place in the AFC East. I think Denver is a really good landing place. He can get out there. He can go ahead and rejuvenate his career, and he might not even be auditioning for another team. He might be auditioning to get another contract from Denver, and they build around it.
Well, and, and Elway needs something, to kind of rejuvenate himself as well.
Elway.
Bad trick. Yes, Elway. What did I say wrong?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right, my bad.
This guy. So he needs somebody to come out there, man, to kind of help him out in the fan department as well. Maybe save his job. So I can see that going out there. And then plus, she can go out there and smoke all the weed he wants.
I don't even think Cam smoked, do he?
You shitting me. Come on, bro. He's
He
from the Southwest side.
Ain't he
Come on. Come on.
I mean, I ain't never heard nothing about it.
Yeah, you won't hear nothing. Now, he's smart about it now, but he dabbled. He hang out with Pac-Man. Come on.
He from the A, man.
Come on, bro.
He's a SWAT swinger.
Westlake, boy.
He's a SWAT
Cam about to
swinger.
drive to your house and smack your beard off. Like, why you snitching?
I like Cam and all that. I don't fight no more.
See, why you snitching, bro?
He's dry.
Nobody talk about Cam smoking.
Well, they don't even test him no more. He all right.
What about your media obligation?
He all right. At that point, we can say all of them smoke. They ain't testing y'all no more.
Right, exactly. So it don't even really matter.
They on World Star like Steven Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Steven Jackson goes at it.
World Star.
But I can see
okay.
him in Denver though, man. That would be a good fit for him, man. I out of he and Jameis, I look at it and say, man, they both deserve an opportunity. But then you look at some of the camps that's already signed deals. Bridgewater, to Carolina. Brady, we know where the fuck he's at. Phillip Rivers went to Indy. Chase Keenum, it went to Cleveland. Like Mariota with that. I don't know if that would surprise him going over to the Raiders at all. But now you get like Chase Daniel, Jess Driscoll. Now, obviously, they're not getting the kind of money that Cam is, and they're going to be backup guys. But still, they've been signed.
Yeah, like Chase and Driscoll, those guys remind me of what I think that Fromm will be.
Okay.
He's that kind of guy.
You give Fromm too much credit.
He'll be a journeyman backup.
Chris
And
Coleman.
you hope he doesn't have to play.
Chris says, I think Cam will be a good fit in Jacksonville.
I mean, I think they're going to ride with Gardner Minshew. He's not been doing bad out there.
And they got him under. I don't see why
They don't have. There's no need for them to pay somebody.
Yeah, I don't see why they would rock the boat there. Yeah.
Why not the Chargers?
The Chargers are going to draft Tua. That's what they need to do. They got Tyrod Taylor, so they have the infrastructure in place to facilitate letting Tua fully heal.
Tyrod gonna be pissed off about y'all keep bringing in these rookies taking my job. Tyrod gonna goddamn start bucking the system in a second.
Hey man, Tyrod about to be the new Drew Bledsoe. You start us off, then we're gonna bring in our franchise and appreciate you.
Hey man, that'll be hell. And he just find his role, right?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Play your role.
You usher in new franchise quarterbacks.
Hey, he's good with the younger guys. He mentors the guys good in the classroom. He's that guy. Yeah, okay.
The guy you don't want to be, right?
Yeah, the guy you don't want to be if you're a pro now.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting paid.
Yeah, this is
He's
so
still
true,
playing.
bro.
He's still getting paid. He still gets much respect. He just ain't nobody franchise quarterback.
As long as he keeps going, he gets closer and closer to getting that money when he retired as a young man. So he ain't complaining.
Oh yeah.
Much like our boy Matt Schaub not complaining. Schaub is the happiest motherfucker in earth, on the earth right now.
Yeah.
He's the highest paid backup in the league.
And all he get
Well, Bridgewater was, but he ain't a far second though. He
Right.
wasn't a far second.
he get paid millions of dollars just to get dressed.
He just played
Well, I
dress
mean-
up there, dude.
I think the GOAT of backups had to be Matt Castle.
Always.
Matt
Nobody's ever
Matt
backed
Castle?
up the way Matt Castle backed up. That dude didn't play a single game at USC and went to the NFL and then sat behind Brady and was like, oh, he's hurt. I gotta play. And then went 11-5, and then went to the Chiefs.
I
So he
thought
went
it
to
was Foles.
11-5.
I thought
Made the Pro
Foles.
Bowl, went to the playoffs.
I thought Foles had that title. Foles didn't have that title.
I mean, I'm
He
talking
had
about
no
just
idea.
the
He had-
amount
he
of
had-
time he was able to do it.
Yeah, he didn't have
Yeah.
no
He
idea
sat
he was
behind.
He
He
had no
sat
idea
behind
he was
Carson
gonna
Palmer
back up
and Matt Leinart. Never played. He has national championships and Super Bowls.
And
Never played.
Yeah, I just think that Foles had no idea he was going to play. He had
That's
no
a hell
idea.
of a trivia trivia thing. What player got national championships
And never played. Never
and
played.
Super Bowl rings and didn't play in the entire season? Didn't take a snap. That's some shit, right?
Only
his
Matt
trophy-
Castle.
His trophy room looks huge. It's nice right now. Yeah, I'm national
What's
champ.
up, DC?
Super Bowl
From
ring.
Knicks
The whole
106.
nine.
Remember when we talked about the biggest upsets in sports history, and we talked about the SC squads, and we talked about the 2007 Patriots? Matt Castle played on all those teams, but he ain't play.
I like it. I ain't mad at him. He won't have to worry about CTE, none of that shit. He got a fat paycheck.
No, he healthy and paid.
That's what I'm saying. He's great. Like, he's with his kids and shit. He'll end up being the quarterback coach at his local high school next year. In the next couple
right?
Like,
Sitting up living a good life.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Thanks. You know what, man? I like that background you got back there, man. You know what I'm saying? I really like that.
I appreciate it. I ride with my bird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got the meme machine background.
Yeah, that's what's good. That's what's happening.
Yeah. You see that white on white?
Mm-hmm.
That all white's hard as shit, man.
Yeah. Need something.
The all white is dope. The rest of them uniforms are ugly.
Nah, they're not really, man. You're gonna see a lot of other NFL teams start to go. I think the Chargers went back to their throwback uniform. I think they got a little bit more of a college flair to it.
New England went with the color rush uniforms.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Well, it's popular, and I think we talked about it before how the NFL is struggling to try to keep up with what college football does. We already know that they're the largest sports franchise in the world, but just trying to keep it, fun and fan friendly, and part of that is uniform. Uniform is the best way to kind of get fans to get out there buying stuff and all this shit. I like it.
Keith Robinson.
I think we might should have gone with the all white though. Like our away uniforms with the white jersey and the blue pants, we look like the damn Bills. Somebody made a comment and I couldn't even dispute it. They was like, "Oh, now the Jets and the Dolphins get to play the Bills 4 times." They're like,
there you go. So somebody said, we got the FUBU collection, that red that bleeds to the black. That's the FUBU collection.
That fade.
That's that old FUBU jersey, that 05 FUBU jersey.
And actually, that's my favorite jersey, really.
We know.
Yeah, that's my favorite jersey right there.
It's you.
Yeah, man.
4X jersey.
I like the all black.
Because it's different. It's different than what we've had. We've always had the traditional black, red, or the white. And to have that bleed, the red and black bleed over each other like that, I think that's nice, man.
Hey, so Fees, Chris Tobin says, speaking of Matt Castle, he is the carbon copy of a Jake Fromm, and that's why he's probably perfect. He didn't say carbon copy. He said that's why Fromm is perfect for New England because of what Castle did once Brady got hurt in New England. So he feels like he can come in within that system. But again,
is he related to Jake Fromm or something?
Clearly, he's
talking about this dude.
Clearly, he's a Fromm
fan.
is
garbage.
Yeah, he's garbage. He's not even a good game manager, man. He just let me down, man. Just like
at least we didn't know if Matt Castle was that good or not.
I think he's at least a game manager
on
the collegiate level.
Trophy-winning quarterbacks, and then behind the greatest quarterback of all time. And then he came in and he balled out when he got the keys to a Lamborghini.
I think
stop talking to me about Jake Fromm.
We got stopped by Jake Fromm. We got stuck with him for nepotism. That's all that was.
Yeah.
Alumni.
And his arm just really isn't what it should be for the NFL.
Like way better than Fromm.
Come on, man.
I took my daughter to G-Day because she lives in Athens and she loves them Raggedy Bulldogs. I took her to G-Day when Justin Fields was a freshman, and I watched the game. And I hit up the homies that are Georgia fans. It was like, yo, you got this freshman black quarterback. Like, he's a killer. He's way better than Fromm. If they take Fromm out the lineup, then they got a chance to beat Alabama this year. What they do? They kept Fields on the bench. The only time they put him in was for that raggedy fake punt they called.
And that old bullshit Reed Austin shit that everybody knew he was running.
They gave him like 2 plays, and then you let him leave in the transfer portal.
I knew.
Stupid.
I knew it was alumni, and it was them politics, man, them college ball politics. When he said, ain't no quarterback competition if you stay.
Listen. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it one time only. As a black man that's going in there trying to play quarterback for the University of Georgia, and the incumbent is already there, he's from the hometown of the head coach, you would have done me to take your ass up there in the first goddamn play. Should have went somewhere else. Hey, look here, man. At the end of the day, man.
He thought it was going to be Shockley. He thought it was going to be
Shockley.
Shockley.
Knew better than that shit. They knew better.
He thought it was going to be Shockley or Quincy Carter. That's what he thought it was going to be.
Nah, they knew better than that shit. You got the homeboy deal. Goddamn Smart sat down at your living room table and told you all this shit. Oh, yeah. open competition. We love what Justin does. This is the direction we go in this program. It's the direction of NCAA. Having a mobile quarterback, we feel like can get us over the hump and get us to the get your ass on campus. Now you don't sign that sheet. Your mama done dropped you off at that dorm. She's a whole different story.
Did they not see the formula from the team that they lost to both years? Like, Bama had 2 quarterbacks that could run.
He wasn't
better. Maybe you might need somebody under center that can move, and you got him.
He wasn't better than Jacob Eason. Everybody knew that shit.
Better than Jacob Eason. He was not better than Jacob
Eason. Everybody saw that shit.
But he came in and went on that run.
Boy,
he had that strong run, man. And that's it's hard to argue with that.
Running game.
You beat Notre Dame in week 2 coming out, and you were going to beat them anyway with your running attack. That ain't shit.
I just said that running game.
They had the best running attack in the country.
Well, see, then it came down to being a game manager. That's why I say on the college level, he was a decent game manager.
They had to respect the run, so he had a free reign in the air.
If you've been playing football all your life, the number one fucking rule of the game is you cannot lose your position due to injury, especially on the college and the pro level. And Jacob Eason never got an opportunity once he got healthy. They gave it to that kid. And that's all it was. And that's just period, point blank. And he was not the best fit for our Georgia Bulldogs.
And to kind of go back just a little bit, you guys mentioned, I forget who said it. It might have been Fees. We said something about Justin. You said something about Justin Fields. And I think that's looming large for a lot of these teams next season in the draft. They know you got Trevor Lawrence coming and possibly Justin Fields coming out as well. So that's going to be that's going to play a big role also into this thing. I believe so, man.
Possibly. He's coming.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, the teams that are looking towards the future, they may not put all their eggs in the basket this year for a quarterback in hopes of next year's draft.
No, I can agree with that. I mean, you look at Trevor Lawrence is going to come out for sure next year. He'll be your presumable first quarterback off the board. Depending upon what Justin Fields does this year at Ohio State, he'll be a front runner for that as well. It's going to come down to teams that are starting to look down the line in the future, i.e. our Atlanta Falcons. I'll project the 2021. If not the 2022 draft, definitely we take a quarterback in that draft simply because it's time to do it at that point. So.
You weren't here earlier, Banks, when we talked about the rumors that the Falcons may try to move up to get Hurts.
I don't think it's a good move.
I won't. I can't say that I can see that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, given that you don't really have a legit secondary at this point.
I agree.
I just said,
but when we're talking about the Falcons, every year we think they're going to do we think they're going to zig, they zag.
If they need a cornerback bad. If they're going to move up, it got to be defensive. It can't.
Yeah, I just don't think they put any more high end front round draft picks moves to go get a
quarterback you ain't gonna
quarterback on the offense that you're not going to play right away. One, you can't use him right now, and we've all talked about that Super Bowl window closing, right?
Yeah.
And he does.
They trolling y'all on Fox Sports. They got the '98 Super Bowl on the TV right now.
Yeah, and he does nothing for y'all. He does nothing for us on that. Shannon Sharp.
He would not be able to help y'all.
Eugene Robinson for the touchdown there.
Yeah, he would not be able to help us right now. It would make no sense to go that high up to trying to get a quarterback that you're gonna put on the bench.
Yeah, so I mean, that just doesn't make any sense, man. If they move down at all, you're not going to get a Chase Young. I think he'll be off the board, depending on what they do and how they if they want to, pull a Julio Jones franchise move, bundle a bunch of first round picks and all that.
What do you think of the defensive line need to be tuned up? Because the defensive line makes your secondary.
I think you got to get somebody to go, in that trenches next to Grady Jarrett or, on the outside as a DN, that's Chase Young. So who knows what you're gonna do, right? But you gotta go defensive. If you're not gonna make a strong move at a cornerback, the kid out of Ohio State is a cornerback, then he's the number one cornerback on the board.
Maybe even a safety.
Akuda.
Yeah, if you're not going after somebody like that, then you better for sure shore up your D line to take some pressure off of those guys that's on the corner, those young guys.
Banks.
Don't know. Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
You don't know if Keanu's going to come back, where his health is going to lie. So you gotta beef up that front line and put pressure on the QBs you're facing. You got now 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the NFC South.
Shit.
And that's where I was going with this, Banks.
And Bridgewater.
Look what happened today or yesterday with the Bucks getting Gronk. So now the Falcons may have to retool what they were doing on the board because we need definitely a linebacker or a corner, but most definitely somebody on that line, because if you can't get what you need in the secondary, you got to be able to do something up the middle to put pressure on these guys, especially with Brady. You got to come at Brady up the middle. You know what I'm saying? That's where you're most effective in getting at him. So
I agree with you on that piece.
How did we get to a Falcons mixer?
I don't know how we got there, but that's the number one goddamn subject across the board is these damn Falcons.
Man,
now, I'm gonna let it go with this. I missed the Gronk thing. I'm not so afraid of Gronk right now. You know, Gronk is Gronk. Yeah, and he's getting back to Brady. Great, congratulations and all that good shit. But when you look at his production in 18, he wasn't the greatest at that point in time. Yes, he's taken a year off. His body's gotten healthy. He dropped the weight. He put the weight back on. Okay, great. But again, when you look at it, I'm not afraid of their running game, and it's still a one-dimensional team with an aging quarterback that's not that mobile. So, be it as it may, Gronk and Brady in the NFC South, I like our chances again.
It look good on paper, but like I said, I think Gronk ain't gonna be as healthy. He ain't gonna be as healthy. He's not as healthy as they think they are.
So I think he's fine. He's a young guy, and he had that year off. He didn't take that beating on his body, but again, we know his body was already banged the fuck up. So,
okay, so now we can get back
to
one of the segments that we haven't done since we was at the patio.
Okay,
the Petty Sports Fast Five is back. Y'all know how this thing works. 5 questions, 30 seconds piece per person. Let's rock with it.
Well, y'all got to go first so I can get used to this shit again.
Should any team consider Percy Harvin, who now says that he wants to come back to the NFL after a 3-year hiatus? Well, really, it'll be 4 years now. 4-year hiatus from the league with the migraines and the hip injury.
Do I need 30 seconds for that?
All right, well,
you get 30.
I'm gonna buy a sell on that. I ain't buying it.
You're not buying Percy Harvin coming back.
Man, come on, man. Seriously?
I say why not? Shit. Why the fuck not? Give him a shot. If he does what he's supposed to do, shit. Oh well. If he doesn't, hey, you had your opportunity.
Man, as bad off as Percy was when he left out of the league with the migraines, couldn't really finish seasons. He couldn't play. And then he had the hip injuries. The dude said he could barely walk up the stairs. Like he had to use the rail just to get himself up there. Like he was out bad. I've seen videos of him working out, and he looks like a certified monster right now. But I mean, that's just he been sitting around working out. That don't mean that he about to come to the NFL and do dirt. Like I absolutely don't want him. I don't think anybody should even be trying to rock with him unless he's trying to come play for free.
put his body on the line for free.
What he gonna play for the minimum? I mean, he's not that dude, man. He's not gonna be that dude, bro.
He could be a situational receiver.
All right, so I tend to agree with you guys on the fact that he's probably not gonna be that guy. You know, I think at his playing time he was around 205, 6'2", 205, whatever it is. But he was
ain't that tall.
He was a big wide out at that point. What I'm saying to you. I think now Josina Anderson reported he was like 185 pounds.
185 now.
Yeah, and I think they released a video of him running up a parking structure. They put it in super duper slow mo.
Like $6 million man.
Yeah, like $6 million.
Looked like he auditioning for Baywatch.
And it's not a good look for Percy. And I don't see why anybody would pay him for a guy that'll be coming back for what will be possibly his 6th or 7th season in the league. So now you got to pay him that premium and all that good stuff. But if you look at it, he's never lasted, man. He's never played a full season since he's been in the league at all, and he's never eclipsed over 1,000 yards as a receiver. So why would anybody want Percy Harvin on their team? I have no fucking idea.
Nobody.
Even in his heyday, he wasn't that guy. So hey, man, Percy, just go ride off to the sunset, bro. Now see, you grew some dreads now, man. You looking all roster and shit. Go smoke out, boy. 420 was a couple days ago.
Man, so question number 2 of the Fast Five. Canelo Alvarez, Saul Canelo Alvarez, says he wants to fight again in September. Who do you want to see him fight?
Who cares? You know what? I would want him to see him fight Mayweather. And the only reason
Money May?
Only reason why I say that Because when Mayweather fought him, Canelo was a young guy. They both were. But now, a little bit, I think that will be the fight to fight. That'll be the fight to see. That's the only thing I want.
I don't think he can hit May.
Well, May ain't the same as he was then. So that's my point. He slowed down a little bit, and I think now it'll be a little better fight. The first time, I think they went 12 rounds, and May unanimously busted his ass. I just think that'll be the fight to draw it in. That's the only thing that's left.
I mean, Mayweather embarrassed him. I mean, I think really the only money
young
fight
guy
on the table for Canelo is for him to fight Triple G again, because some people seriously feel like Triple G won both fights, even though I think the scorecards on both fights were actually accurate. The first one was absolutely a draw because Canelo won the first 3 and the last 3 rounds, and then Triple G won the 6 in the middle. People just kind of got enamored by him winning 6 straight rounds, but like, hey, a draw is a draw. It was 6 rounds to 6. The second time, I think Canelo convincingly beat him. But for all the skeptics and everybody else, that'll be a big money fight, big names. I think if he comes back and fights again in September, he should do another Triple G.
Well, let me ask this: did he mention or show any interest in somebody that he may want to fight? Did he say anything about that, or he just
he just said he wants to fight again in September?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really don't give a shit. I wouldn't mind seeing giving him another shot at Mayweather. He probably feel like he has something to prove. He knows Mayweather's slowing down. He might be able to, you know what I'm saying?
It's the only loss. It's the only loss in his record.
Yeah, it's maybe a little redemption tour, if you will. And he want to start out with Mayweather. Why not? Shit.
I'll pick Canelo over anybody but Floyd. If he fights Floyd, he's gonna get embarrassed again.
Okay, interesting. Because for all the time is undefeated now.
Would you put money on that?
And so is Floyd.
Would you pay money?
Right, exactly.
You say what?
Would you pay money to see that fight?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I'll always watch Floyd. Floyd is going to dismantle anybody that you put in the ring in front of him because you're just not going to hit him.
So Chris Tobin said Canelo is much bigger now. I don't think he can get down to 153. Hey, listen, Chris, you know just as well as I do.
He might be right about that.
Man, these boxers can cut weight. I think it's got to be cutting weight, and then they cut down and get the water weight off of them just in time to do that weigh in, and they come in bloated, just like the folks the last heavyweight.
That'll be the excuse that they'll give to be like, well, Floyd made him lose all this weight, and he was smaller than he was supposed to be. There's always something.
Yeah, it is, but hey, man, they professional. They figure it out.
Yep.
They'll figure it out. So what's
okay, question number 3. NFL is considering fanless games moving forward. Is this a good idea, or you think they should just push the start of the season back until people are able to fill the stands?
Only way you do fanless games, in my opinion, is there has to be some sort of way that you come up with this extremely interactive way that fans can view it from home. That's totally different from the way we view it right now. So I know we do the mic'd up, we do this, that, and the third, but it has to be something else that has to bring you so far into the game that you'll forego that fan experience and possibly pay for that subscription. That's the only way I can see the NFL pulling that piece off.
I mean, I think the NFL could pull it off with no problem. I mean, your very own Atlanta Falcons have already showed that you can pump fan noise into the stadium.
No, so you mean your New England? You mean your New England Patriots? Your New England Patriots?
No. The Falcons got fined for pumping fake crowd noise into the stadium.
They did, but y'all.
So they've showed us that can happen. It's my 30 seconds. It's my 30. You already talked. The biggest winner here would be the TV networks, though. With nobody inside the stadium, that means that all 70,000+ people that fill these stadiums are going to be watching on TV, and a lot of them are going to be at home, so the ratings are going to be sky high. TV networks have already actually signed the contracts and given the NFL their money, and they're going to get way more ratings than what they normally do.
Right.
So TV networks will win. We'll still watch. It'll just be a matter of whether the NFL teams and their franchises are willing to go ahead and take that hit to be like, you're not getting the money in ticket sales and the fans coming into the stadium and buying merchandise.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
For me, I think the NFL should go ahead with playing the games. fanless or not, play the game. Like you said, the viewership will go through the roof. They won't make the money, of course, from butts in the seats, but shit. I mean, you know, we want to see some sports. And football is, you know, they the big dog on the campus. You know what I'm saying? The most popular sport in this country. So I don't think they'll lose in the long run because everybody's clamoring to see some sports. You know, that's one of our favorite pastimes. You know what I'm saying? In this country for entertainment. So I believe it's a good thing. They should not push the start of the season back.
No, I don't think anybody's agrees with that.
No, not at all.
Okay, so question number 4 on the docket. Should the NBA do the playoffs at Disney World in Orlando in the AAU facility and have the whole thing closed off so they can just go ahead and do their tournament in seclusion and not have to worry about all the social distancing guidelines and everything else if everyone's tested and they're clear and they just stay there?
Well, go ahead, man.
You go ahead, Mike. You got it.
Well, if I just made that statement about the NFL doing playing the games without fans, I'm in total agreement with the NBA doing the same thing. Play the game. Play the fucking game. People will tune in and watch. You know what I'm saying? So from that perspective, you know, the country is clamoring for entertainment from the sports world.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think one way or the other, it'll make a difference. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm all the way for it. Man, I think they should go to Orlando and do the tournament, and I really think they should do a single elimination. It would completely change the whole scope of how the NBA is played if they do it like the NCAA. You go in like, hey, you got one game. You can't come out here and be like, all right, well, we just lost home court. We just got to go ahead and just win the next game. Where like teams go on the road for the first 2 games and they really feel like all we got to do is win one, then we can go back home and hold serve. If they put them in a single elimination tournament, so that way it wouldn't be so long since they're playing in one spot, I think you would see a completely different level of intensity out of all of those players for each game. Like it would be historic.
Okay.
Yeah, historic on a whole different level. And here's the reason why. The NFL now, you know, just like most of the country, right? We're approaching 2 months of all this shelter in place. NBA 2 months of shelter in place. What you get out there on the first couple of games, man, is gonna be some BS. Nobody's really. I mean, at this point, we're starting to move past that. You know, that you know you got the tale of the Lakers not being, you know, qualifying for the playoff but not going to get a chance to play and all that good stuff. And why Disney? Why not Madison Square Garden? If people are going to travel, they're going to travel. There's hotels, there's places around the garden that you can put all teams in it, and then you can still have them sequestered and secluded, and they can still go play. Why does it have to be Disney? I just don't buy it in that little bitty ass stadium.
It's because
neutral.
Disney has an entire facility, like that. The whole thing is huge. They got the hotels on site. They can bring all the teams in at the same time, and it's not open to the outside. Like they can actually completely shut that off from everybody else, and they have everything in place to actually film it. Like all of the equipment, everything they need. It's all there. Like Madison Square Garden, they're going to have to travel into it, and they also have to deal with the traffic of New York. I mean, like they're under a shelter in place, but people can roll up on it.
I just use New York as people. Okay, so even with Disney, and we've played at the Disney facility for several years. That the kids Disney World Series complex in the AAU.
That's what they plan on using the AAU basketball facility.
It's at the same place. What I'm saying is, you can use State Farm Arena here. The Omni Hotel is connected to State Farm Arena. It's already closed. Everybody can stay there and have their own fucking floor. You can just walk down and play. It doesn't have to be that. So I just don't see why it has to be Disney. But
it gives them more freedom to live. Like, I mean, they're presumably going to have to be there for like a month. So I mean, if they're at Disney, they can move around freely and not interact with anyone outside.
There's nothing over there. That entire complex is separate from the park. See, that shit is separate from the park. You don't go into the park to go into the AAU complex or the baseball facilities where the Braves had their spring training facilities, all that. It's all in the same place right there.
So, but you're talking about just sticking them in a hotel where it's like, okay, stay in your room for the next 30 days, or go to Disney, where now you have hotels, but you can go and circulate through the park and actually do something to entertain yourself when your
can walk
team
around the
playing.
parking lot. The parking lot. It's a fucking parking lot. They not at the park. Trust me when I tell you, if you look at the map of that place, there ain't shit over there by it. Ain't nothing.
They have access to everything though, and no one else will.
That shit's closed.
That's the point. That's the whole point, though,
It's supposed to be closed.
They don't
wait.
Everybody but them.
You think they're gonna bring in employees to run goddamn It's a Small World for LeBron and the team?
Yeah, they'll make the employees stay on the premises for the month too.
Well, okay. Well, they're gonna spend that guy. Man, fuck the season. That shit's over with.
And it's
I mean, if you put them in the Omni downtown in Atlanta, it's like, man, they right next to Centennial Park and the bars, and they about to open everything back up. People are gonna be there trying to get as close as they can get.
Right.
They're gonna be stuck in a hotel.
If you think they ain't gonna
and it's a good neutral location. It's a neutral location.
Well, the Hawks not in any goddamn way, so it's neutral for every goddamn way.
Well, I think just across the board, being in Orlando, it will just be neutral. You can be exclusive with not having anybody, like Fees was saying, walking on and joining the players and mingling and, perhaps contaminating people. That's the biggest thing. They don't want people to get contaminated. They're probably going to test all the players before this shit start, make sure everybody's good to go, and, hey, strict guidelines. Do not leave the complex. And they're going to not only test the players, the employees that they hire to work the event, everybody's going to be under high scrutiny. Guarantee you.
Once they test them, if they make everybody stay there, there's no way there's any spread on the facility.
Okay, for the employees, will they make them stay on the campus as well? They'll probably make the employees stay on the complex as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, make the employees stay there too.
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
It's just done. Next subject.
All right, last question, because that took way more than 30 seconds. Who is the biggest bust in NFL draft history? There's only two candidates in my eyes.
You gonna say Jamarcus Russell?
It's either Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell. Which one you going with?
I'm gonna go with Fat Boy.
Vince Young.
You think Jamarcus was worse than Ryan?
I just think because he just had so much potential, man, and just fucked it up.
Yeah.
Man.
Vince Young.
And I didn't know that was one of your guys. If Jamarcus Russell was your guy, but no, not Vince Young. Jamarcus Russell just fucked it all up, man. And Jabba the Hutt just fucked this whole shit up. Ryan Leaf was overhyped any fucking way, in my opinion. But that's me. That's my ramble.
Bosworth.
No.
Well, hold on. You say Vince Young?
No, that Gary said Vince Young.
And Bosworth.
I mean, you know I hate Vince Young with a passion.
Why?
You don't think
I would love for it to be him.
Because
Why do you hate Vince Young?
Because
I
he
would love
beat
for
all
it
his
to be him.
teams over out in
Young,
California, USC, and those teams out there. Vince Young put that thing on him.
Got
That
stolen.
41-38 thievery in the 2006 Rose Bowl is why I would have loved for it to be him. Can't stand him.
Oh my goodness!
But I mean, I think Stephen A. went so hard on this dude, called the man a no good Jabba the Hutt fat slob.
Hey,
He went so hard on Jamarcus.
You saw how fat
Said the
he
most
got,
effort that man ever showed was blowing his nose when he sneezed on the sideline.
All that.
But I still think the biggest bust got to be Ryan Leaf, though.
Ryan Leaf.
Yeah.
Ryan Leaf was up for the Heisman the year that they lost the national championship game to Michigan. Didn't win it. Then went to the league. He was out there acting like everybody was against him. The dude played 3 years and threw for 3,600 yards. In 3 years.
That's total.
He went
yards
4
between
and
3 yards.
17, 48% completion. Dude threw 14 touchdowns and 36 interceptions. He has a career 50 QB rating. Like, that is god awful on so many levels.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking like real Jake Frommish.
Facts are stubborn things, right?
I mean, look, Jamarcus wasn't as bad. I mean, he still was terrible. That's why he's in this conversation. He did 4,000 yards. He also played 3 years. He was 7 to 18. for his career.
Eric Parker said Jamal
52%
Anderson.
completion, 18 touchdowns, and 23 picks. He was still bad, but he wasn't Ryan Leaf bad.
Yeah, I mean, but you think about Jamarcus Russell, like Chris Tobin said, he had a lot of hype coming out of college. He was supposed to have been that guy, the freak of nature guy. He's like 6'4", 6'5", 250, 260, and could run, had a rocket for a fucking arm.
Yeah, he could throw 70 yards on the knee.
Yeah, just didn't goddamn, take it seriously.
You got some people in the chat room agree with you guys. Chris and Eric Parker said, Eric Parker said Jamal Anderson, and Chris said Jamarcus Russell.
Jamal Anderson?
The defensive player. Not the
I mean,
back.
that dude started. Oh, you're not talking about Dirty Bird Jamal?
No, we talking about the damn. He was.
I was like, wait, what?
He was defensive end, wasn't he? DB.
Who are you talking about? I'm sorry,
Jamal Anderson. Remember he came to the
I'm watching Jamal Anderson on this TV right now.
No, the defensive end, not the running back. We had Jamal Anderson play as a defensive player.
I don't know. Fuck it.
He don't even remember. So that
You're not talking about goddamn. He talking about.
No, I ain't talking
about cocaine out the toilet bowl at the club, Jamal. No, you gotta watch.
I'm watching him get that toilet bowl cocaine in the Super Bowl with Denver. Whoop that ass right now.
You gotta watch motherfuckers from like.
It's on TV.
Was he like Utah, Nevada? Where he from? Utah.
He from
he from pretty
Utah.
hair motherfucker from Utah, man. Like that. Hey, man. He ain't been the same.
He got locked up in the damn Quick Trip. High as fuck. Up in the Quick Trip.
Blew out his goddamn ACL.
He stole $50.
Man, that's a shame. So since. Man, we done now just went through 2 whole weeks and still ain't had a chance to get this topic in, and I'm not bringing it in because we don't have time.
How long did Ryan Leaf stay in the league though?
3 years.
3, so him and Russell did about the same. Okay, all right, well that is.
Yeah, they did the same amount of time. They did the same amount of years. Jamarcus played a few more games.
Yeah, bums.
Yeah, both bums. So since we can't get to the wide receiver question because 4 minutes will not do it justice, not even 4 minutes. So last question I got on the docket before we get up out of here, man. When will you actually be good with going to games again? Yeah, I know they're Friday. They say you can go to barbershops, salons, bowling alleys, all that nonsense. Monday, you can start going to the bars and dining in restaurants. When will you be okay with actually going to a packed stadium out of Mercedes-Benz with 72,000?
That damn curve gonna have to be flattened the fuck out.
This guy right here ain't fucking with him. This guy right here got a nice fat ass TV. I got a big ass TV.
I'm still trying to figure out the Falcons gonna get my goddamn money back. They probably make us pay PSLs, but I don't know about the damn season tickets. They can't charge us season tickets.
This guy here is not fucking with it. Y'all can have that shit.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not buying that bullshit.
Hey, y'all, I sell my season tickets, $50 tickets. Y'all go down there, man.
Listen, man, I'll tell you right now. Only game I would attend this year if the Falcons do make it to the Super Bowl, I'll try to make that game. Or if they make it to the Super Bowl, I'll try to make it to the Super Bowl city. But other than that, I'm not fucking with it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you might as well just go ahead and just make plans because you ain't going there.
Well, okay, well, call it what you want. Hey.
Wow.
While weather permits, I had a TV set up outside.
The Falcons ain't about to have no games in January, let alone the Super Bowl, even with the extra team making the playoffs.
So you gonna get one of them jerseys that's stitched half and half with the Patriots in the Tampa Bay? You ever seen them jerseys that got stitched down the middle? You gonna get one of those?
No. They gonna have a jersey that say house divided. They gonna have one say house divided.
No, I'm gonna have on a shirt that says 28-3. Miss me with that.
Wow, that's real original. That's so original.
Keep living in the past.
Yeah, they talking about opening.
I mean, y'all ain't even living in the past. Man. Y'all living in the never.
Hey, man, I'm tell you something. It's amazing how you can still try to ride you know what? I want to see
what?
You gonna still be a Patriots fan after this season.
Didn't it happen?
No, after this season. I want you to still be a Patriots fan. I got my folks checking in from the Hot Ashes.
I put on my Gronk shirt for you. I still love my man, but I'm not going to Tampa.
Hey, man, look here, man. Whatever.
What up? We got 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Yeah. 2 minutes.
Eric, you crazy as hell, bro. Hey.
Soon as they open that bitch,
go ahead and put me on your will of testament, Eric Parker, for your season tickets. I want your season. I put them with mine.
Yeah, I ain't know that.
He talking about soon that bitch open, I'm going down there like, God damn.
They talking about opening the gyms and shit this Friday, dog. I'm not going nowhere near that motherfucker.
Only person I'm going to see is my barber. That's it.
Yo, we about to close this thing out, though, man.
Close this bad boy out, man. Hey, appreciate you guys, man.
Go ahead, Fees. What you got for us, man?
I promise y'all, next week we're gonna get to the greatest wide receiver of all time. We gotta have time to go and dig all the way into it. I got way too much information to just do it a disservice like that. But man, make sure y'all tune in every single Wednesday. It's your boy, Famous Fees, the Flagrant One. I do Clutch Sports, do Petty Sports. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm everywhere. Always talking. Just like you see when you make a comment on somebody's chat, I take you out. It's the same thing. When you go on my page, when I make a post about something, holla at me.
What you got,
Hey, man, it's your boy DB, man. I appreciate y'all coming in, Petty Sports, each and every Wednesday. We got y'all entertainment, sports, the whole nine. And call us, man. Don't be ashamed, man. We ain't got nothing to do but sit at home anyway and act a motherfucking fool.
Let's go.
I'm out, man. See y'all next week, man.
Yeah. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight and sticking with us throughout the technical difficulties. We had a lot going on here tonight. Don't know what's going on. We'll get it right for next week, but we appreciate you. Thank you once again for joining Petty Sports, brought to you by King Broadcasting Studios. You know what I'm talking about? Thank you for sharing the show. All that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got something to prove out here.
That man say, little yellow dude, pull up.
That ain't what you want. What you want today, BB?
That man say, a little bit of that and a bit of...
Lately I've been in my past, but told me don't take my foot off the gas.
Pull up.
Yeah, hey.
Your feelings, your life, your wife.